Festival season has commenced in India, as a result of which I expect the demand to go up and therefore be sustainable also. The overall GDP growth, notwithstanding the pandemic, should be something which, as is being predicted by the IMF, even if it is going to be in the negative or near zero this time, the next year will be very clearly India seeing itself as one of the fastest growing economies. Festival season has commenced in India, as a result of which I expect the demand to go up and therefore be sustainable also. The FDI flow inwards in India between April and August 2020 grew by about 13% compared to the non-COVID 2019 comparable period. Globally, we are one of the lowest in terms of corporate taxation. For any investment which comes into manufacturing and which commences production by March 31st, 2023, they shall be paying only 15% corporate tax. I think globally, we are one of the lowest in terms of corporate taxation. For any investment which comes into manufacturing and which commences production by March 31st, 2023, they shall be paying only 15% corporate tax. That's one of the biggest steps that we've taken only in September 2019, much before the COVID came in. But that's a fact which remains on paper today, and therefore something which many industries have thought one of the best steps taken by Prime Minister Modi in the recent past. And also, it removes the companies from having to do too much of checking and diligence from the point of view of various exemptions given in law. This is exemptions free. Just pay 15%, everything is taken care of. There is nothing to worry. So simplification also has happened. Third most important thing in this is many of the sovereign funds, many of those funds which would want to come in for investment have been given several taxation related concessions. I recently met up with the High Commissioner from one of the countries whose funds are today looking forward to having the benefits given for the other pension funds and sovereign funds. So we are happily welcoming funds which want to benefit from that tax exemptions that we've given them. So that is about the third in terms of policy. Fourth, we've also made sure that there are single help desks which will, if I can metaphorically put it, receive you at the airport and see you off at the airport, having tied up everything for you in the sector in which you want to invest. So there are several such mechanisms which have come into play. The taxation benefits, the policy, ease of doing business related activity are all falling in place, making it a better place for investors to come in. Other than that, of course, major reforms have taken place in the labor area. For nearly 44 laws have all been brought down to just 4 codes, and therefore the labor related questions which most people had have been simplified. Agriculture has gone through severe reforms. So these are steps through which I think we are making India more attractive for investors.
Yeah, no, thank you. And it is attractive because we can see the headlines and the positive news that comes with those reforms. Now, given we're at the India Energy Forum, maybe as a last question, I can go back to the energy sector, and maybe honing in a little bit on some of the Indian government's measures, which may be similar to other of the foreign direct investments as well, but also locally. How is India looking to encourage further development and investments into the sector, and also any incentives for those adoptions? You mentioned renewable power and storage. What might be some of the ways that you might incentivize the adoption of those technologies?
I'll start with one explanation which I want to give you on energy, considering that the Indian Prime Minister was the one who started off the International Solar Alliance. Climate conscious, several policies and missions which have been appointed for reduce, reuse, recycle, so that energy conservation tops the agenda and it is eco-friendly. So the incentivization is in the form of being conscious that it should be sustainable, being conscious that it should be compatible with the norms and with aspirations of the globe from the point of view of energy conservation and environment consciousness. Other than that, we have encouraged all the provinces to ensure that there is going to be energy efficiency, adoption of LED in the households, distribution of liquefied petroleum gas for cooking, which will reach every household before 2023, and making sure that every village gets electrified so that no fossil fuel is going to be used. Third, making sure that incentives are given to the states so that the distribution networks are far more efficient, there are no pilferages, and there are no transmission losses. Making sure the old fashioned thermal units are going to be shut down and efficient gasification will drive Indian energy requirements, considering that we are the third largest importer of crude, fourth largest importer of LPG, the gases. We need to take such measures through which all the provinces are all on board so that we don't continue with those fossil fuel, and also looking at from the point of view of the biofuel effective usage. We have incentivized the production of ethanol from grains which are getting destroyed, or grains which are getting the stored grains which are probably no more fit for human consumption. They are being diverted clearly for production of ethanol, so that ethanol blending makes it a lot more environment friendly, and the use of wasted rotten vegetables and bio